What's going on, guys? Tony Ivanov here with another day trading video lesson, and today I'm going to go over exactly how I made $658.03 today by trading DCIX. You can see some people in my chat room also traded DCIX. Here's my daily gains, made 339 bucks. Here is another trade using Robinhood in small size, just practicing, that's just fine. Bought in at 254, sold at 270, that's just great. 20 cents per share. Here's ADA. Also bought at 264, sold at $3 paper trading. That's just fine. Practicing is awesome. And there was a bunch of other traders as well who profited. So we're going to go over these trades and exactly how I planned it and how I traded it. I just want to make sure that you guys are all aware that we do have a free Facebook group, the Trade Buddy Community. Completely free to join. All I ask is that you answer 2 simple questions just so I can be sure that you're not a bot. The link is down below. There's over 4,300 members now who all give out their tips, tricks, watch lists, and best practices for being better traders, whether it be day trading, swing trading, options, forex, you name it. If it's a tradable security, I can guarantee that there's someone in this group who is willing to help you out. So be sure you check it out, and I hope you guys enjoy this video. Alrighty guys, so we're going to go over the trades of today. I only placed one trade on DCIX. I was able to capitalize on this morning dip. Very awesome and easy trade where I made $658. I bought in 2,000 shares on this dip, got an average of $2.54, and I sold into the spike. I took partial profits. I sold 1,000 in the 272 area, and I sold the other 1,000 up in the 305 area. So I didn't get the whole move, but I definitely got a very nice portion of it. Using only $5,000, I was able to make $658. So that's, over 10% gains, and I'm happy with that. I could have gone in with more size. I still had around 10 grand to trade with, but I ended up saving that for tomorrow. So we should hopefully see some nice plays tomorrow that we can trade off of. But DCIX was a big runner in pre-market. You can see this gapped up from the 175 range, and by the time market was open, it was up in $2.50. So why did this spike up, and how could you have played it? So DCIX is an earnings winner. They apparently had good earnings this pre-market, and it squeezed on up. Now the interesting thing about DCIX is that I actually had DCIX on my watch list as early as Monday evening. So here's Monday evening's watch list. You can see Monday evening additions. I said GBR, TOPX, and DCIX. These shippers have been popping up more and more often on the momentum scanner. Keep an eye on these, as when one starts to run, the entire sector usually does, as they tend to do monumental short squeezes. People are very familiar with TOPX, DCIX, and DRYS squeezing very hard. And if you guys are just new traders, or you weren't trading NASDAQs a few years ago, even last November DCIX, it's not going to show now because the chart's really broken from all these reverse splits that they've done. But even last November, you had a massive pop, and this went from $1 to $28. DRYS, November 2017, or no, I mean November 2016, went from $1 to $100. And you can see now DRYS is building up this very nice wedge. So we could see DRYS do a similar move to DCIX. So let's just go back to the DCIX daily chart and look to see what kind of chart pattern we had to initiate this squeeze. And you can see it's the same exact pattern that's forming on DRYS, just this nice gradual symmetrical wedge squeezing down on the Bollinger Bands, getting very tight here. You can see 2 days ago it had a nice pop up to that resistance of 170, couldn't break out, but then just did a nice U shape and then smashed all those shorts and squeezed everyone out. You can see the volume today demolished all of the volume it's had in the near future. We traded 37.5 million shares today, which is, astronomical levels for DCIX. That's even more shares than we traded back when it spiked from $2 to $28. So massive volume. Unfortunately, this one got stuffed. So this dip buy we did here in the morning, the reason why I bought this dip was because the one thing I knew that was going to happen was after this huge pre-market rally, these pre-market rallies, you can call these the morning spike. You usually don't see a stock do a massive pre-market spike, open up, and then spike more immediately. Stocks don't work like that. Nothing goes straight up, nothing goes straight down. This went up in pre-market like 80%. So you can imagine that people are going to be taking profits and people are going to be shorting it. So there's going to be lots of selling pressure at the market open. So we have the morning dip, and the main place you look first on any dip buys is where is the previous support. And you can see here very clearly there is previous support at $2.50. Previous resistance has now become support. You can see we spiked up, we tapped that level, that nice round mental number, came back down, and then we broke through it. So that previous level of resistance should now become support. So as this was dipping down, this actually did break through the support, the exact support at 251. However, that didn't matter to me, because you can see how it did this kind of rounding bottom action. So even though the candlestick broke through the exact support, it doesn't mean that the support's necessarily broken. You have to just see how the candles and how the volume and how the price action is reacting around that level. And you can see here, just by looking at the candles, you can see it had a nice rounded bottom here. Let me just get out my doodle tool. You can see, let me just get this color. From these three candles, nice rounded bottom, and it pushes on back up. So I was kind of hesitant to buy into this dip because, you know, those emotions, they come up and they say, okay, this is not holding resistance or not holding support. This is going to crash back down. But once I saw it doing this rounding bottom, I was like, okay, it doesn't matter. It's worth the risk. So I hopped in with 2,000 shares at $2.54 and immediately pops on up to 277. So I took some partial profits just to lock it in, and then I held on to the rest for that big move over high of day. We squeeze over pre-market highs of 285, squeeze up to 325. See resistance there just because it's that nice round natural number. Like I said in previous videos, guys, there are three types of resistance. There's one, chart history resistance. So that's anything that's, you know, the previous high of day, previous low of day, multi-day highs and stuff like that. You have technical indicator resistance, so that's resistance on your moving averages, on VWAP, on your Bollinger Bands, stuff like that. And you also have psychological resistance, so your half dollars, your whole dollar, the $1 mark, $2.50, $5, $10, all these nice round numbers tend to act as resistance and support because people like to place their buys and sells at those areas just because they're easier to type. So 325, no coincidence that it topped out there. The way you could have told that it was topping out was you had the same thing but in reverse from this dip. So we had a rounded top. We had these long top wicks, and you can see same thing. We had this rounded top. So that's a good signal that, hey, maybe this is gonna crack on down. So once I saw it, you know, looking pretty toppy, I did take off the rest of my shares at 305. So nice trade on DCIX. I was looking for another trade towards midday on DCIX because we look like we were making this big wedge here on the 5-minute. It's easier to see. Let's clean up this chart a bit just so you guys can see what I'm talking about. So you can see it right here in between 239 and 325. We made this kind of wedge, and we were holding this wedge really well. We did break out of the wedge. We spiked up to 296, but then it got stuffed and then made a double top. So once you see that this breakout attempt was stuffed, couldn't even get back over $3, that made it look very weak. And then the fact that it dipped back down and it made a double top under $3, that was a sign of saying, okay, this is very weak. This is very unlikely to break out. So, you know, if you're in this play, you should get out. And no matter what play you're in, no matter how confident you are in that trade working in your favor, that should never be the reason that you do not follow your rules and do not cut your losses. I know too many people here who are trying to play this wedge, and once this trend line broke, they held on and they hoped for a bounce. You can never, ever, ever hold and hope for a bounce. That is the single biggest mistake I've seen any trader do. And I've worked with hundreds, if not thousands of traders at this point. And so many traders, they hold and hope on their bounces, but they don't hold and hope on their profitable trades. So it's like you're working backwards. You should never hold and hope in the first place. But if you do hold and hope, I would expect that you would hold and hope for a massive win once you're in a play from a good position. But never, ever, ever hold and hope regardless. If a stock hits your risk level, then get out. More importantly, if you get into a trade and you don't have a set risk level, then you are already doing the trade wrong and you are trading based on the emotions. You have to recognize when you are doing this. This is so, so important. I know so many people who think that they don't have to follow these rules, and all they need to do, I guess, just have one big win and then they'll follow the rules. Guys, this stuff doesn't work. There's a reason why 95% of traders lose within the first year of the market, and it's because they think that they are the odd one out and they think that they can prove everyone wrong in a sense. Follow your rules, follow your plan, stick to the trade, and take your profits. That is my lessons for today, guys. Nothing else really ran. We had OHGI do a very big squeeze in the morning, actually. You can see a very clear breakout over 80 cents. I didn't see this one in the morning, so by the time it spiked on up, I wasn't really too interested in it. We were watching it on this potential here to have a massive bull flag, but that got stuffed as well. So just one main thing I want to say, guys, is that whenever you're trying to play these big bull flag breakouts, we've seen these get stuffed more and more often. So once you get into a play like this, you have to be willing to take at least partial profits once you're up 10, 20 cents a share, just to lessen that risk of it not reaching high of day, not reaching your profit target, and then it turning around and making you stop out. So always take your partial profits on any trade, just to ease your emotions and have you be able to hold on for a bit longer for that bigger next leg up. But two, also, just in case it does turn around and go red on you, you are no longer taking a loss, but you are either breaking even or even making a small profit. So those are my lessons for today, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed this video lesson. If you did, like I said, please leave a like, leave a comment, leave a subscription. If you guys enjoyed this content, please check out my other content. I do have a lifetime mentorship program where you can access the TradeBuddy Penny Stock Mastery course, 10 hours long, and you get lifetime access to the TradeBuddy Platinum live streams where you can watch me trade live every single morning from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. and lifetime access to my TradeBuddy Silver chat room where we have dozens and dozens of traders in there who are all giving out their alerts and their trade ideas every single market open. All right, guys, so if you have any questions on any of that, you can send me an email, tony@tonyivanov.com. I do not have any other email, and I will never respond to your comment in the YouTube section asking you to email me at an email other than tony@tonyivanov.com. I have a lot of impersonators. That just comes with the territory of becoming YouTube famous, I guess. So, make sure you guys are not getting scammed by these people because, they're really, really, really crummy. And I'm doing my best to make them not comment here. So thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I'll see you guys in the chat room tomorrow.